Hello and welcome to section 1.3, example 3. This is another one of these ones that's going to be harder than it looks. So determine the first term in the ratio in a geometric. In a geometric sequence, the third term is 54 and the sixth term is negative 1,458. Determine the values of T1 and R and list the first three terms of the sequence. Okay, so we've got third term is 54. So T3 equals 54. We've got sixth term is negative 1,048. So T6 equals negative 1,458. Okay, that's what we've got. So what can we do here? We want to find T1 and we want to find R. Okay, again, probably if you spend a lot of time thinking about it, playing with some different things with the numbers, you could figure this out. But again, that's kind of just guessing. If we want to do this with a method, right? Let's set up some formulas. So we've got this one here, the 54. That would be 54 equals T1 times R to the 2. Right? Where did the 2 come from? Right? It was 3 minus 1. So it's the third term. Okay, we also can write another equation of negative 1,458 equals T1 times by R, and that's n is 6, so it's 6 minus 1, so 5. Okay, so we've got two equations, two unknowns. We use substitution or elimination. In this case, since it's like T1 times by R squared, T1 times by R to the fifth, we can't really eliminate because they're in the same one. It's not plus anything. So we should use substitution. So to do substitution, what you need to do is isolate one of your variables. So if we look at like equation 1, we can get the T1 by itself. So it becomes T1 equals 54 divided by R squared. Okay, so we've isolated it, right? I'll just write that here. So we isolate, and then we substitute. So let's go to equation 2, and in the spot of T1, we can now put 54 over R squared. And then we multiply by R to the fifth, right? Because it was up here, it was T1 times R to the fifth. Okay, now we just need to simplify this to get the R by itself. So R squared will reduce with 2 of those, so we get negative 1,458 equals 54 R cubed. Okay, next step is to divide both sides by 54. So we get negative 27 equals R cubed. Okay, how do we deal with that? Well, what we want to do is take the cube root of each side. Right, cube root. So we get R equals, and the cube root of negative 27, right, is negative 3, because negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 is negative 27. Okay, if you can't remember that, right, you do have that button on your calculator. So you'd go cube root of negative 27 equals, you'll get negative 3. So we found R, it's negative 3. And now to find what T1 is, we can go back up to that formula we have here, and we can go T1 equals 54 divided by R squared. Well, in this case, now we know that R is negative 3, so it's going to be 54 divided by 9, right, because negative 3 squared is 9, so T1 is 6. Okay, the question asks for T1 and asks for R, so we found those, and then it asks for the first three terms. So first three terms are going to be 6, and then remember we're multiplying because it's geometric, so 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. Negative 18 times negative 3 is positive 54. Right, and then this is a geometric sequence, and it will continue on from there. Okay, so those are our first three terms.